Well, like most things in life, I didn't plan to be a Korean teacher in the United States. I came to the States as a graduate student in linguistics in the 1980s. And that's when not many universities offered Korean language. And I was getting my PhD at Stanford University. And the chair of the East Asian Languages Department approached me and said whether I could offer 2 Korean courses. And as a linguistics major, learning language and talking about language is my field. So I gladly said yes. And sort of that's the beginning of my career as a Korean teacher. In any class, there are mixed groups. So some Korean heritage students, some non-Korean, some students who are proficient in Japanese or Chinese, all sorts of language backgrounds. So, you really have to address the majority of the students. So in the beginning, probably emphasis was on educating heritage students, not because that was more important, just because they were taking up more of the classroom. But now that, the past 20 years, we really had to concentrate on educating non-heritage students. So the textbooks were actually created with students in mind who had no background, right? So that was a challenge, but like any language, we are Homo sapiens who are capable of learning foreign language. In the mid-1990s, we started the AATK, and sort of that was the kind of center, the hub for everybody get together and start thinking of our field. So I think sort of inauguration of AATK and its many projects was the start of the professionalization of our field. My role as a teacher is not for me. My role as a teacher is to teach the students so that the students learn. So it's not teaching aspect, it's the learning aspect. So how the students could learn better. And so if I start from their perspective, what they need, then I can be a better teacher. I am most interested now is how to incorporate culture into the language class. Language is like a receptacle for culture. So if you think Korean culture is interesting, yes, Korean language is something you should learn.